only plans model who slept with 100 men in a single day broke down in tears after the grueling escapade. 23 years old.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So, I mean, like, even if she were, a virgin when she pulled this stunt,
Which
pair bonding done. Already done. And then she says, like, well, sometimes you just dissociate, it's not like normal X at all. In my head, I can think of 5, 6, maybe 10 guys that I remember, and that's it. It's just weird, isn't it? If I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known that I'd done 100.
Well, hang on. When she says she only remembers 5 or 6, when your mind starts blanking out,
that's a trauma response.
That's a trauma response.
That's your mind and your body trying to tell you, Lily, you're fucking up.
That's right.
Yes.
You should probably stop instead of do this again times 10.
She's literally fucking up by the numbers.
By the numbers.
God.
So basically, 1,000 guys in a day, 3 milliliters per dump. She's about, it's almost,
So 3,785 milliliters
it's
to
almost
gallon.
a gallon. It's almost a gallon.
God. And it's in her forever.
Yeah.
She's retaining every single. Well, apparently, though, I heard like not every guy got to finish.
After a while, she's probably just doing dead fish mode.
Now we're just splitting cunt hairs here.
Oh.
Well, to be fair, she probably doesn't have any left.
Oh, there's probably
if not from waxing or laser treatments, then road rash at this point.
You have like a bucket of like lube and a squeegee. And you got like somebody like standing right there with a stopwatch.
Now, see what they do is that they run like a slip and slide that goes out the door, and these guys can just like slip and slide on their bazooka juice back to the trailer so they can.
It just seems like it would be awkward.
Clean off.
You're gonna need at least a dozen fluffers.
I was gonna say, like standing in that line, I don't think I could do it.
She's like, just like the lesbian captain who crashed the boat on her first time. She just couldn't handle all that semen.
Like, no, like could you imagine standing in line with all those dudes?
It's a conga line of cops.
We all know why we're here.
It's like, but like that just seems so awkward.
We're gonna pretend like we're not all here for what we know we're here for.
I don't think I'd be able to do it.
They're going to be avoiding eye contact like they're in the VD clinic or something.
It's so gross.
Wow.
Oh, man. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the breakdown moment, I have it queued up here. All these sources, of course, available on redonkulous.com. Feel free to check them out if you if you feel like subjecting yourself to this for a second time. This is Mary Morgan. I'm not sure who this is. Pop Culture Crisis at Timcast. Okay, so she works for Tim. I watched this documentary about Lily Phillips. This was her immediate reaction after hooking up with 100 men in a day. She was feigning excitement for weeks before the stunt. In fear of seeming judgmental, the one and only cardinal sin recognized in modern secular culture, and nobody in Lily's life stopped her from hitting self-destruct. She will remember the fact that nobody stopped her, and she will count that as evidence that she is worth nothing more than being used sexually, hence her new record-breaking goal of 1,000 men in a day. This is a veiled suicide attempt. Let's see if you guys agree.
Well, it's not for the weak, girls, if I'm honest. It was hard.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Why not?
I think if you're a different type of girl, it's very like, it's kind of like being a prostitute in a sense of like,
kind of like,
it's just a different,
exactly.
You're a whore.
Feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
it's not like just having sex with someone.
Yeah.
Is there a dude
just one in, one out? Like it feels
there should be
intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Not in a good way.
Yeah.
And there it is.
That is the realization setting in that she is
internet is forever
worthless.
Yeah,
essentially, she's done.
Wow.
And this was an old one here. She was talking about her attitude going into this here. It's very, very telling as well.
Before I had, I was never much. I actually wanted to wait till marriage at one point. I just used to think it was a real special thing. As soon as I actually did it and had, I kind of realized that it wasn't special. Before I had, I was never.
Not special.
Well,
once you've done it with like 100 dudes, in a day, of course, it's not special.
The magic number is 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what after that's like 80% divorce rate or something like that. 85.
Yep.
The percentile of staying in a long-term relationship drops into the 20 percentiles
After 5. Yeah.
after 5.
Oh, it's just
And now,
I always thought it was 3.
now, hang on. Let's be the devil's advocate.
are we going to be?
She's going to do the 1,000. She's already did the 100.
Ugh.
Then she's going to go into the church and find Jesus, be redeemed, and then expect people like, well, she found Jesus. She's all better now. That doesn't work.
That doesn't work. No.
I'm sorry. Now, listen.
You got these single mamas trying to show up at churches, and then they talk these ministers into trying to lay down this blame smack on these, single dudes who don't want to wife these chicks up. And we've seen this happen. These dudes get up and walk out of these churches. They don't care.
That's right. That's why there's such a shortage of dudes in church.
Yeah.
Because these pastors, these priests, whatever, and they do it in the Islamic religion. They do it in the Jewish religion. It's not like we're picking on the Christians. They want to sell these swamp donkeys off to the dudes in the congregations.
It's not happening.
Now, listen, it's one thing if she has no kids, maybe like, I'll play around with it. It's a temporary thing. It's not going to work out, but it'll be fun in the short term. But they show up with a brace of kids.
Yep.
2, 3, 4 kids. Who do you think's paying for that?
One of the videos that was sent today, it didn't make the fucked up but funny cut. By the way, that is happening later. But there was this one chick, she was like in the church in one of the study groups, and she's talking about how she's got 3 kids from 3 different daddies, and that made her the woman that she is. So the question isn't whether or not she's worth it; it's whether or not you can handle, the 4 the 4 cum horsemen of the apocalypse.
I can't.
No.
I'm just saying,
Well,
I
first
can't
of
do
all,
it.
You went to church so Jesus could save you, not a man.
I mean, we covered
So
this,
live with it.
We covered this stat like 3 or 4 years back, 250 G's a year to raise 1 kid.
Yep.
And now we're in the Biden Republic now, and that's probably up to 320
At least.
And granted, you get a kid discount for each one over the first because you hand me down a bunch of crap.
Yep.
But 3 kids to raise them in a middle class, standard of family, you're probably talking investing $500,000 from the beginning they show up to the time they fall off the books at 18, 19, or 20.
It's good times.
Now, listen, gentlemen, is that beat up whistle sack worth that investment? I don't think so. Take that money and put it in something else. Buy gold, buy silver, buy a business, something that appreciates. Because you're not getting any value there. Any.
Well, not with a woman like this, you're not.
No,
And fortunately for her, well, it might be. It might just be her trying to throw it out there to steal the thunder, because women love to do this. But listen to what she has to say here.
And do you think your partner one day will be someone from the industry, most likely, or?
Yeah, I talk about this a lot with my parents, because that's one thing I guess they worry about is like, you ever find a boyfriend?
Yeah.
But there's so many guys out in the world. I think, one poor bastard's got to marry me. I rather think it's going to be someone from the industry or someone who is into lending me out.
Lending you out?
Yeah.
That's called a man with
swinger.
no self-respect.
She said poor bastard.
Yeah, she said poor bastard.
Poor bastard indeed.
And she's talking about the swinger community. Now, the swinger community has a very high rate of vada.
Oh, just a bit.
I mean, 40% of those people wind up with some form of vada within 5 years of playing around in that community. And and she's already like stacked up 100, and she's quite possibly going to do another 1,000.
Ugh.
And we're not even counting the other people in between, which she probably doesn't even count.
Mm-hmm. I think the single most pathetic remark that she makes in this interview here, that this is the one that really this is the cherry on the shit sundae right here. I guess when you've promised something to people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down, she said through the tears, because she admitted that she felt robotic during the act, on top of being racked with guilt that she wasn't giving all the men the experience that they wanted.
Okay, let's talk about this robotic thing.
Well, let's be honest. The 900th dude is never going to get as good of a time as dude number 3.
At 1,000 in a day, you're literally going to have somebody there with a stopwatch going, all right, is he fluffed off? Is he fluffed up? Okay, and begin. And then you're going to get the 60 seconds, 120 seconds, 3 minutes. Get off. You're done. Next guy.
And we're done.
I mean, take 24 hours. Let's just
do 1,000 dudes.
Dude.
3.5 minutes a dude.
Her poon is going to fall out, and it's going to look like one of those fucking sandworms from Dune.
That's 1 minute and 44 seconds per dude.
For a day.
For a day. No breaks.
No breaks.
Nothing.
24. What the fuck?
Wow.
You take 24, multiply it by 60 minutes.
That's a lot of dick.
And divide it by 1,000.
That's a lot of fucking dick, dude.
That's
wow.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
What has our world become,
dumb, dude? Where you just cash it in, man?
Jesus
fucking cash
Christ.
it in.
I mean, you gotta bring in the dudes from like the premature ejaculation committee to even make that happen, because you're talking about 1 minute and 40 some odd seconds per dude, and they still have to shuffle in and out. No pun intended.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Like, have a dude? They can't even line up. They literally gotta roll off. Hold on.
You gotta like bend just like have a bunch of jujitsu experts just like bend these dudes into the scorpion position and just put them on a conveyor belt so they just dick and fall into the vat.
No, they're gonna have to roll in. It's like a hot cot on a submarine. Boom, next guy. Boom, next guy. This guy. How does my mind go to these places?
Well, now that you know exactly how long it's going to take per dude, what did you say it was exactly?
1 minute, like
44 seconds.
1 minute and 44 seconds.
Well, we can calculate per thrust and actually get the amount of inches and find out how many miles of Mr. Right she's going to get.
That's. You know what this like the West right now?
That's all based off. Hang on, that's all based off of 220 pumps.
Yes.
I don't even know what you can. How many? I mean, come on, man.
Let's see. I'm curious here.
It's probably like 80 pumps per dude.
Oh, God.
Times 1,000.
So a man can go 48 times per minute. All right.
So let's max it out.
So 48 times a minute, and then you have an additional,
44 seconds.
44 seconds. Okay, so you have to do 44% of. Why are we doing?
Because
I'm doing it in my head.
Okay.
Hilarious.
So it's an additional.
Crazy.
Okay, this is ironic as fuck. That's 69 thrusts.
No way.
Get 69
the fuck out of here.
thrusts.
That's awesome.
Okay, so 69 thrusts per dude, averaging 6 inches. Okay. Oh my God. So that's 414 inches of cock per session. Times that by 1,000. That's 414,000 inches. Let's divide it by 12. We'll get to feet. That's 34,500 feet of cock.
Something tells me.
How many feet are in a mile again? I know 880 yards is okay. How many feet in a mile? I'm trying to. I know it's 5,000 something. How many feet in a mile?
I don't think she had a very good.
So that's 5,280 feet. 5,280 feet. That is 6.5 miles of cock in one day.
That's a lot.
Just a quick trip to the store and back.
Wow. Did you get your steps in today?
Did you? It's 8:21 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Oh my God! I mean,
wow.
Logistically, how are they even going to make this happen?
I don't know.
I'm.
I don't
know. Could you? I mean, like, she'd have to stay awake the whole time.
Well, I mean, you might have to put a variable in there for premature ejaculation
or something. I don't know, but it's.
I forgot. She's from Britain, so you actually have to take that figure and multiply it by 2.2.
Ah, yeah, because you got meters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's 14.375 kilometers of cock.
I feel like the West is like we're right at the end of like an after hours and we're walking out as the sun's coming out.
There's something wrong here, bro. There's something very wrong
it's
here.
It's like, oh my God, it's right at the end. Like, this is kind of like, you would think in a sane world, everybody would be shaming her in the sense to get her the fucking help she would need. But even these chicks aren't even getting it. They're just like fucking, because she might, herself.
You ain't even kidding, man.
Now, listen,
seriously.
we do the comedy here to stop guys from committing suicide.
Yeah.
Now, women, listen, I'm not a chick. I don't know how to approach the chick problems, but
this is not how you approach
this is not how you approach the chick problems, and this is not going to have a good outcome
for her. No, she's like
1.6. My bad.
Better Bachelor was talking about it.
Yeah,
it was like she like that. Like somebody should probably legitimately intervene.
Yeah, because this is obviously a gigantic problem. I was wrong about the kilometer thing. I was thinking 2.2 in my head, but that's pounds per kilogram. So I had it backwards. My bad.
But it's still a lot of dick.
Dude, and here's another thing about the English system. All right, we use the imperial system, which is based off of some king from England, and then they did this fucking switch, and they went to the metric system. And then we're here in the United States. We're like, you know what? We don't like your fucking king, but we're keeping your fucking measurements and shit. Fuck off.
Ugh.
I think that's pretty funny.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Popp for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat gazer box.